paused the slavery system right now in Libya, that they don't want to go over there and fix. So, like, we have to put things into perspective, Raj. If you want to be angry at the Manchester bombings, you also have to be angry at the British government who trained the guy who done the Manchester bombings and funded him to do terrorism in Libya that is causing the slavery that you don't like to bring up so much in the right wing as if you care.
Let's be real, Raj. The geezer did not do the bombing in the name of Islam. It's not once that can ever be said.
What,
so
are you sure?
to even call him a Muslim is a bit far-fetched.
Come on.
Secondly, let me make another point.
It's like me
Hold
saying...
on, one sec. Don't get so butthurt, man. These grooming gangs, yeah? It's been made out to seem as if they're targeting specifically white girls, like as if it's some sort of racial attack. That's just a false narrative.
That's true, though. That is true.
It's not true. So you're just perpetuating the myth. The science behind it is said that there's two types of paedophile: the ones that are attracted to children, and the ones that just basically find victims in vulnerable people who are available to be abused.
No,
now, if you go up north, you're not going to find gangs of Turkish girls rolling the streets. You're not going to find gangs of Jamaican street girls rolling on the street. You're going to find gangs of white girls.
Look, I'm not saying it's a racial thing. It was definitely that these guys saw the
These guys, are you telling me we're going out of their way to move up north where there's white girls? No, they wasn't. They were going up there because they're poor. They can't afford to open a chicken shop in North London. They got to go up north where it's cheap.
I'm saying that the Pakistan...
One minute.
All right. Well,
these guys were not targeting them girls because they were white. And that's how it's been made to seem by Tommy. He's making it like as if it's a racial attack.
All right, so it was definitely what you call kind of... They didn't see them as honourable Pakistani Muslim women. And so they saw them as an out-group and treated them like shit. Maybe they would have done the same thing to Turkish Muslim girls, but they definitely wouldn't have done it to their own girls. I know
but it's a fact. They've done that to Muslim girls, and they've done that to Sikh girls, and they've done that to whatever girls they can get their hands on.
Maybe it wasn't a racial thing, but it was definitely an in-group, out-group
thing. So now you're saying what I'm saying. It wasn't a racial thing, but it's been painted to seem that way, and it's been pushed. That narrative's been pushed. So when you approach people like Wendy, and you ask Wendy, why are you so against grooming gangs and you're not against white paedophiles, she turns around and says, yeah, because that is a product or a thing to do with immigration. If them people weren't here, them crimes would not happen. And I said to her, but what about white paedophiles? And she's like, yeah, but that would have happened anyway. So it's been racialized. The crime's been racialized.
All right. So if I'm saying to you that the Pakistani Muslim community would target girls from outside of the community purposely, they wouldn't have groomed their own girls. Whether that was
science behind it proved that these guys were just taking whatever girls they could find.
Let me finish a sentence. So if the proof is that they were going for girls outside of their community that they could groom,
they were going for whatever girls was available on the road.
You've got no impulse control, man. Like, you've got to let me...
Yeah, because you're perpetuating the myth. You just admitted that you got that wrong.
You can debunk me after I've said it. Let me say my piece, then you can say it. So, you can debunk me afterwards. What I'm saying is that the Pakistani Muslim community up north were targeting girls that were not within their community and were purposely targeting girls outside, whether they were white, whether they were black, whether they were thingy. Most of the girls were vulnerable, but not from within their own group. Yeah, and they purposely did that. That is still an attack, on a different group. Whether that's racial or whether that's whatever, it was still an attack on a different group from a different people, And that is still something that you can classify as being a targeted kind of attack on another community, in a way, targeting their females.
Be honest, like when white people are overrepresented in like paedophilia, you'll be the first one to say it's because we're in a white country and there's more white people than anyone else. This is why white people are overrepresented, So, but then in this situation, you're not actually thinking there's more white women than everyone else. So that's probably why white women will be more overrepresented.
All right. Like, I think there's an epidemic of paedophilia in the white community.
One minute. Then we got to look at the cultures. If you look at the Asian culture, they're very protective over their girls, the families themselves. Extremely over their girls. A lot of their girls can't even walk to the shop. Do you know what I'm saying? I remember a lot of Asian girls in my school, they wasn't even allowed to talk to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like literally, because I'm a Kala, yeah,
Your
right?
Punjabi's getting good, you know. Your Punjabi's getting good.
Because I'm a Kala, a lot of the Asian girls
He's getting the twang. He's saying Gala now.
I'm saying a lot of their Sikh dads, they didn't want them.
Say Kanjar. Let me hear your Kanjar.
A lot of their Sikh dads didn't want them to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? And they would like talk to man in secret, Krishna and all of them gal there. Yeah, and then but when we were walking out of the school, like they couldn't even be seen talking to me. So we know that the Asians are much more protective, whether it's the Pakistanis or whether it's the Indians, over their girls. Whereas white girls, where there's more of them, there will be white people that are protective over their girls. But I think you're going to find a lot more white girls that are more out here on the roads, you know, run away from home and all of these things. But it's like you're not factoring those elements into this thing. You're just making it seem like these men are just targeting these girls. I think a lot of it comes down to how, like all grooming cases, there's still that parental responsibility. So if my child gets groomed, I'm gonna have to take the first responsibility, Raj, because I should be raising my daughter in a way where one, she shouldn't be able to be seen by no other guys like that. Two, she should feel comfortable and safe enough around her dad that if she does get approached like that, that she feels comfortable to talk to me about it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying I'll be the first one to head top the groomers, but I'm saying that if the parents
let me make one more point.
If the parents were to do
let me address him first, because
no, one sec. I got a point to add. The way how they made it, they tweaked the stats to make it seem like as if it was mostly Asian men targeting white women, white females. Do you know how they done that? They basically only looked at attacks of men onto women. They took out all the attacks on young boys. That's how they made the number so high that people are like, what? 65% of attacks is by Asian men on white women. When really, if they would have looked at all attacks on young people on the street, including attacks on boys, the number would have not been nowhere near as impressive.
All right, so let me respond. Now, when it comes to the paedophilia in the white community, I've never said it's like, you know, because it's a majority white country. I believe there's a problem within the community when it comes to paedophilia. I'm going to say that. Like, most of the paedophiles, in terms of you would classify as a paedophile, come from the white community. Like, there's just no denying that. Now, when it comes to the grooming and stuff, like, there's a report that has been published in Manchester by the council. It's not by a group or a Quilliam or something like that. And it's freaking damning to the next level, man. The majority of all the people from the Manchester grooming were from a Pakistani Muslim grooming gang. The girls were as young as 10 to 12 to 13, 14. And there was a systematic...
I've never heard of 10. I've never heard of 10, Roger. Exaggerating. I heard the youngest ones were 12. And that was because the 16-year-old ones were turning up with their 12-year-old sisters. So what are you lying for?
11 or 10. Do you see much difference?
I said 12.
But I'm saying, do you see a big difference between a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old? They look the same to me.
Just because one little lie, just knowing an age by one thing, it gives the emphasis.
Yeah, I do remember there being a 10-year-old in there. So I would say that the lowest age I've heard is 10.
But sometimes, like, what I'm saying is just talk the facts in it, because.
All right, so I've tried to find a case, but I've heard of a 10-year-old. Now, so the lowest age being 10. That's the one I've heard. I've heard a 10-year-old. Now, one of the cases, the girl was 12 and she got impregnated. The guy that did it, she bumped into in the local supermarket. Yeah, and the guy has even been charged, for impregnating her when she was 12. So there's thousands of men.
How is that even possible?
I'm going to get if you really want to look into it, you need to get the report from the Manchester Council to see what's going on there. There's thousands, they said, of men that have not been charged yet. And they said it's a tip of the iceberg. Watch what's going to happen over the next couple of months or years, and you'll see how deep this problem is in the Pakistani community. Now, I will say this, I agree, the families need to take some responsibility as well and say, okay, maybe, you need to be more kind of strict on your children and stuff like that. But I will always say this, that if I was driving in a car and there was like a 12-year-old girl walking down the road at like 1 a.m. in the morning, my thoughts wouldn't be to pull up and rape her. My thoughts would be to, okay, pull up and call the police. So you have to understand, like, the people that are doing this, you're giving them a kind of a get out clause that, oh, girl, these girls out on the road, maybe whatever happens to them, it happens, It's their responsibility. The rapist has to be held probably 90% culpable for the rape. not the parents being 50-50 or whatever.
You're missing the point, Raj. You've gone from like political post, bro. It's been painted as racial attacks, as if these Asians were targeting specifically white women, which is not true.
You're diverting now. So
no, that's my original point.
Let me ask you a question. If you was driving there like 1 a.m. in the morning, and as you was driving, there was a 12-year-old girl walking on the road, and she looked a bit inebriated, what would you do?
Was she a white girl?
Any girl, it doesn't matter, white, black, whatever. What would you do?
What if she was a white girl? I'd just keep driving because that's standard to see them whites doing that.
And that's not.
Dude, do you know? Are you
sorry, but if you're catching me out for being racist, then I might have to put my hands up for being racist. But that is actually what I would do. I'm not lying, Becky. I would just keep driving, and I'd be thinking, do you know what? That's a standard thing, mate. I might be racist. You might be able to call me racist for that. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Hold on, Khan. This is more than racist. This is the mindset of the groomers, because the groomers see white girls as trash. You have just literally confirmed what the Pakistan, because you've said that if it was any of it, you asked the race of the girl. I just said it was a 12-year-old. That means you don't see 12-year-old white girls as the same as any other girls. You see them as lesser. So you said you would just drive by because those girls.
I don't see them as lesser. I don't see them as lesser. I see them as more. I see them more stronger. Like if I saw an ethnic minority child, I might even, like Respect saying, they don't even let their daughters out. So if I saw a girl walking down the street, I might even think, wow, what's she doing out? Like, she's vulnerable, innit? But when I see a white girl who's on road day in, day out, and she's confident and she's popping street like she runs things, and as I'm driving, she's cussing. Listen, bro, the other day I was driving through Tottenham, I stopped at a zebra crossing. Becky, I'm telling you real life things, yeah? The other day, you're speaking over me. You're speaking over me. I'm trying to make a point. Babe, this happened to me the other day. I'm telling you real life situation. 2:30 in the morning, I'm driving through Bruce Grove. I stop at a traffic lights and two white girls is crossing the road looking like 12 and 14, and they're literally cussing me. They're swearing at me on the street as I'm driving.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you if there was a girl. I didn't say the race. I didn't say nothing. And she was 12 years old. And she was 12 years old. No, Rashford, don't try and divert because you know you've got yourself in this shit, yeah?
I'm not. 1 minute. I disagree with Khan, yeah? But the funny thing is, Khan is doing exactly what Steve done the other day. As in saying that.
Come on, man. What a deflection, man. We were talking about grooming and raping of a child. And you're sick, man. You're sick going to Steve now. What Khan has said is basically what Pakistani men think of white girls.
No, Raj, I'm giving you a real life incident of something that happened to me.
I asked you a hypothetical.
I'm telling you, it happened to me in real life.
I beg you, man, let me finish my sentence, yeah? Because I disagree with Khan. So allow me to drop my disagreement in it. As in him saying that he's been through that with that white girl. Doesn't matter, bro. There's millions of white girls all over the place. And I don't care what race anyone is. You know what I'm saying? It's the same rules for all, yeah? But what I'm saying is the other day when Steve called Somali girls vile teenagers, Raj's defense for him was that basically he may have experienced bad things with that community. Yeah. So end of the day, you can't say when Steve is saying stuff about Somali girls, you're gonna say,
I never mentioned the race of the child. I said this year. I said if there's a child walking down the road at 1 a.m. in the morning, I didn't say that. I said she was 12 years old and she was inebriated. What would you do? He asked me, what race is she? And I said, does it matter? He said, well, if she was white, I'd leave her. So what he's saying is that the white girl, yeah, he would leave because he believes that girl, yeah, is either more mature or whether he thinks that
please, I beg you, think about what you're saying. You're an Asian man.
I am.
You're an Asian man, and you're going to stop the chat to a drunk white girl.
Yeah, I would.
Who the fuck's going to believe you that you're not trying to groom her? Are you mad? You'll get banged up in 2 seconds.
I would take the risk. I'd rather take.
I
would rather take the risk here than the. I would rather take the risk.
Back in the day in Rockford, yeah, there was a white man punching up one white woman, yeah, and like man got involved, man done him dirty, yeah, and then like feds came in it, and the white woman turned on me because obviously that's her husband or her boyfriend, yeah, and she actually tried to lie on me and say that I just abused him for no reason, and I actually got arrested, and I'm lucky that there was video footage of what happened because I might actually be in jail all now, yeah, but that made me know that I am very skeptical sometimes in this country, being a black man, sometimes dealing in white issues, because I know how it can be flipped on me. So if there's a young white girl, I ain't gonna like, even old white people, like, I'm
We're
kind of
talking
scared.
about children, man. What is wrong with you
Young
people?
white girl,
We're
I don't want to be.
talking about children.
Raj,
We're not
people are
talking
telling
about
you real life
adults.
experiences. You
No,
should
I
listen.
have. Let me explain. I've been experiencing it, yeah.
I don't want to be talking to a young Asian girl, a young black girl, a young white girl, unless I have to. Because at the end of the day, I'm a big adult and I ain't really trying to be wrapped up in all of that stuff. But at the same time, like if I saw them walking out on the roads, because that's the thing, you got to think about what different areas there are. Like in Romford, you can go Romford and you can see like gangs of different youths rolling around the streets and you can't really tell them nothing. Do you know what I'm saying?
I gave you an example, a specific example of one girl, 12 years old. She's inebriated, didn't give the race. And he said he asked about the race. And if it was a white girl, he would leave her. But he'd pick up the black girl. He would help the Asian girl. He'd help the Chinese girl. But for some reason, you're saying
I'm not stopping for no one. I ain't stopping for no one. I'm driving my car with the doors locked.
You didn't say that before.
I ain't stopping for no one.
You didn't say
I ain't
that
getting out my car anytime.
Empress Becca, please, man. Like, don't say silent on this, man. I swear, because this is more than just. This is more than just the race thing. This is about what's right and wrong.
Raj, you're getting it wrong, bro. You're so wrong. Like you ain't got no real life experience. You're obviously sitting at home, drawing pictures, eating beans on toast. You don't know about the real world.
Are you serious?
You try and roll up on a 12-year-old girl.
Brothers, one second. At the end of the day, yeah, it don't matter if the girl's pink, purple, fucking black, yeah? If she's a 12-year-old child, she shouldn't be out in the street at fucking 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Becky,
Simple.
I've been with white women, who send their daughters to the shop at 1 in the morning and 2 in the morning, and I'm like, what are you doing? Sending that child to the shop? I'm telling you real life.
1 minute. Yo, everything I have to stop. I'm gonna let you roast him still, but everything I have to stop because I want everyone to
what do you need to roast you on a subject like this?
In the chat, put some fuck off, Rod. I'm fucking.
Why are you me on a subject like this? Are you totally corrupt?
Fuck up, yeah. I'll just fucking throw you out. I'm talking on my own channel. Just shut up. Yeah, everyone put some party poopers in the chat. Put some shaleur. You get me? I didn't get to do it on the day, but my sister Fine is in the building. It was her birthday the other day. You get me? Wish her happy blessings on her birthday. You get me? Pick up yourself, Fine.
Big up sister Finest Wine.
Bless up.
Oh no! Where did he go? Where the real come?
Bless up, everybody.
I sent a message, but it didn't go through. Sis, you got one tick.
Cuz I lost my phone, cuz.
Oh,
cuz, man, I've lost my fucking phone, blood.
I left it in an Uber.
I left it in an Uber. I left my fucking phone in an Uber, and the Uber man has got no soul. Yeah, no fucking soul. No, he never took the phone. Imagine the Brairs telling me it's gonna cost. He's gonna lose out on too much money, and it's gonna be too much traffic for after the job that he's got, which was the next customer after me to drop my phone to me. He's gonna lose too much money, and it's gonna be too much traffic.
How quickly did you call him?
I called as soon as I clocked, and man answered my phone. I called my phone, and he answered my phone, and he said, I'm not going to be able to bring it. Too much traffic. I said, what? I said, bro, I need my phone, my family, my kid. No. I can't bring it now. Too much money. I'm going to lose. I said to the guy, I'll pay him twice. I'll pay him double to bring my phone. The pussy still doesn't. And he still hasn't brought it to the Uber office. So tomorrow I'm going to go ham on Uber because it's been over 48 hours since he's had my phone.
Yeah. Go ham on them, man. Them man have to lick down. You get me?
If I ever catch that fucking Uber man.
Yeah, go on, bro.
Can I just say something quickly? Because obviously, like, I've just moved to this area. Like, before living in London, you don't really see kids walking in the street. So to see like a young child walking on the street late at night, you would be taken back by that. But like around these parts, there's kids walking around all times of night. And if you was to just stop your car checking fucking kids, I think he was a weirdo.
Jesus, hallelujah. Real is actually the one coming to my rescue. Can you believe it?
Did you hear what he said? He said, "What race was she?" He didn't say that some girls walk around at the street and not. He asked.
It's in a predominantly white area. What are you talking about?
No, we didn't say that. I'm talking about what I asked you before. It's race specific. I didn't give the race of the girl or nothing. I said she was inebriated, like drunk, alone, and it was 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning.
That a child is inebriated?
Well, if someone's walking around and they're stumbling and stuff like that, and they're stumbling about, and they look like they're vulnerable at the middle of the night. We're not talking about the day, And then, you ask, the only question you ask is what race she is, not whether she was vulnerable, whether she needs help. I've got to say that you're looking at her race and seeing that. When I said she was white,
and I'm saying she's less vulnerable because she's white. Yeah, that's right. It's her country. It's her country.
But hold on.
You didn't say that to begin with. What you said was, what race is she? Raj was like, it don't matter. He was like, well, to be fair, if it was a white girl, I'll just carry on driving. And that was the end of your comment. You didn't.
No, I said I didn't say that, Becky. I said it's a standard thing. I said I will drive because it's the standard thing. I said things like that. What do you mean? I'm saying it straight. I'm telling you straight.
Hang on. Say if I was Jupiter now and I turned around and said, if I saw a 12-year-old black girl, I'd drive past her. I'll be classed as a fucking racist.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if they're classed as a racist. I'm telling you, if Raj stopped to chat to the white girl at 2 in the morning, he would get done for being a groomer.
Well, 12-year-old child out on the street at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning, regardless of the fucking colour.
Becky, forget 1 o'clock. Becky, Becca, you're not listening in. Forget 1 o'clock. Forget 1 o'clock. I'm talking about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. These girls are out rolling on road like they run things. What are you on about? I'm in my car. I'm talking about white girls in fucking Bruce Grove in Tottenham are cussing me. Forget about me getting out the car to chat to them and ask them if they're all right. They're so drunk. They're cussing me.
We wasn't talking about that situation.
Yeah, we gave us
that's what I'm talking about.
Situation.
Anyway, I'm gone.
12-year-old child out on the street at 1 o'clock in the morning. He didn't say that they was cutting you out. He didn't say nothing like that. You just come out, what colour is she? If it was a white girl, I'll carry on going. Come on, man.
I would.
If you said that about any other race, you'd be called a racist. If you said that about, if a white person said that about a black girl, Asian girl, I swear, Raspberry would do like 50 shows partying and get that person's racist, that person's racist. This is why Jupiter sometimes has a point where the reverse racism towards white people is so like in your face.
Oh, stop it, Raj.
It is, man. You can't deny that what he's saying is just
man.
out of order, man.
You just sound like you need to be. You just sound like you should be white.
Out of order, man. I'll find this white.
Trying to be white, begging it.
But 1 minute. He just said
I mentioned the race of the girl. You did.
He just said racist.
Oh, you did.
Stop it. And this is why Raj gets kicked out for anyone that wants to know, like Station 6, he tries to not let anyone talk, He just said racist Jupiter called us black bastards, who said black women are dirty, ugly, and all of these things. He understands why she talks about reverse racism, even though no one said anything remotely about white people as she said about black people. And this is why I say Raj is a racist.
Can she be racist and you? Can you both be racist?
And this is why I say Raj is a racist.
Can you both be racist?
Like, this is why you get kicked out.
Well, you don't like the truth, man. That's you're a little you say the truth. I've explained that you are is exactly what.
Why you get kicked out and put to the back chat? Because when Raj is talking, no one is cutting him. No one is cutting Raj when he's talking, and this is why he's triggered. Because when Jupiter called us black bastards, Raj defends her. Raj defends people calling us black bastards. Raj is okay with that. Raj will say that she's not racist for calling us black bastards. So Raj is the last person that could ever speak of anything. You get me? Because
you'll see how deep this problem is in the Pakistani community. Now, I will say this, I agree the families need to take some responsibility as well and say, okay, maybe, you need to be more kind of strict on your children and stuff like that. But I will always say this, that if I was driving in a car and there was like a 12-year-old girl walking down the road at like 1 a.m. in the morning, my thoughts wouldn't be to pull up and rape her. My thoughts would be to, okay, pull up and call the police. So you have to understand, like, the people that are doing this here, you're giving them a kind of a get out clause that, oh, girl, these girls out on the road, you know, maybe whatever happens to them, it happens here. It's their responsibility. The rapist has to be held probably 90% culpable for the rape, not the parents being 50-50 or whatever.
You're missing the point, right? You've gone from like pillar to post, bro. It's being painted as racial attacks, as if these Asians were targeting specifically white women, which is not true.
You're diverting now. So
no, that's my original point.
Let me ask you a question. If you was driving there like 1 a.m. in the morning, and as you was driving, there was a 12-year-old girl walking on the road, and she looked a bit inebriated, what would you do?
Was she a white girl?
Any girl, it doesn't matter, white, black, whatever. What would you do?
What if she was a white girl? I'd just keep driving because that's standard to see them whites doing that.
And that's not.
Dude, do you know? Are you
sorry, but if you're catching me out for being racist, then I might have to put my hands up for being racist. But that is actually what I would do. I'm not lying, Becky. I would just keep driving, and I'll be thinking, do you know what? That's a standard thing, mate. I might be racist. You might be able to call me racist for that. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Hold on, Khan. This is more than racist. This is the mindset of the groomers, because the groomers see white girls as trash. You have just literally confirmed what the Pakistan, because you've said that if it was any other, you asked the race of the girl. I just said it was a 12-year-old. That means you don't see 12-year-old white girls as the same as any other girls. You see them as lesser. So you said you would just drive by because those girls.
You know, little things. That's right. I think you're right about that. Like, they never know that it's going to be 100% or even 90%. If you can get 80,
80%.
Like, if you're 80% alike, that's they're blessed.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So the food as well. Like, like it's all these, like, these are all like small things, you know. That's what I'm just saying. If someone who's Somali or a Malian or anyone, even all these type of things come into it. But yeah, there's a few Irish. I don't know about England, but. Like, do you know any Turks? Actually, there's a good few Turks I've heard that married Somalis.
Well, to be honest, my great granddad, he married a Habeshi woman.
Yeah.
So I'm part African. But this on my mum's side. So on my dad's side, they have African as well. But I think they weren't Habeshi. They were actually sub-Saharan African. And I think that was more to do with them marrying slaves, like basically, like people that were slaved by the Arab slave trade. They would pass through Ottoman ports, and I think my dad was saying someone in his family just rolled down to the port one day and just said to the guy, like, what you got in your boat? And he's like, I got some women in there. And he's like, bring one out in there. And he just married her, just took her to the village and just, in a way, set her free from slavery. You know what I mean? So that's on my dad's side. But on my mum's side, we're more like Habeshi, innit? Like Ethiopian, that, you know, it's just basically what you said is that from a Turkish point of view, they're more on their deen. They're more pious. So like them women are, like, you know, held in high esteem by men. So my great granddad married a Ethiopian woman, and like they just lived a normal life. Like obviously, like there's some racism, but not racism in the way what you'd expect. It's like similar to they have African as well, but I think they weren't Habeshi. They were actually sub-Saharan African, and I think that was more to do with them marrying slaves, like basically, like people that were slaved by the Arab slave trade. They would pass through Ottoman ports, and I think my dad was saying someone in his family just rolled down to the port one day and just said to the guy, like, what you got in your boat? And he's like, I got some women in there. And he's like, bring one out in there. And he just married her, just took her to the village and just in a way set her free from slavery. You know what I mean? So that's on my dad's side.
Yeah, I'm talking rumors. I'm telling you, man could never fall off of this thing. This thing's my heart. You get me? Like, you see man out there doing activity. You get me? But this year, like last year, I cultivated like that. Like everyone on the team, like I'm fully me. My heart's on my sleeve. You got bare man that they're nice, so you come on their channel. Yeah, they're nice to you for like me. I'm Ras, 24/7. I'm not gonna pretend I don't see your racism. I'm not gonna pretend I don't see now, but I'm gonna call out man on whatever. You get me? That's me, innit? So, like, yeah, I feel like last year, anyone who man kind of finished the year with, like, they know me from me, innit? So, this year, it's about taking that to the roads, you get me? And actually, actually making, like, be the change that we want to see in the world, innit?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, what is this pigeon doing here, man? Go away, pigeon.
Yeah, where is he? Hold on.
Yeah, I'll just the thing is, I don't know how to kind of like break the news to you though. That's the thing. How do you want the good news or the bad news?
Hello, Raj.
Hello, Zikos. How's it going, man? I don't have to say this, but do that. Yeah. So yeah, he's shook because he knows what I'm gonna say.
No, just say it.
Nah, he's shook because he's shook. I'll wait until he gets calmed down. He's a little bit upset today. That's why he was going irate earlier. He was kind of like, why are you so irate today? Like, you're a little bit...
I don't like disrespect.
All right, yeah, you don't like disrespect, but did you hear what... Do you know Khan has literally... Khan has destroyed... If you know... I got a record... And it's insane.
Yeah. Friend Jupiter called us black bastards. We don't.
All right, so we can, but we're too far wrong, can't we?
Like I said, I ain't got no. I'm not like you. You're like you and Tommy Robinson. You got to defend someone when they're wrong. I don't have to do that.
All right. So what do you think about what Khan said that his great granddad brought? His grandma was a slave on a ship in Turkey or something like that, and he brought her.
Obviously, that's wrong, isn't it? What the fuck do you want to say?
So what are you going to say when you speak to him next then?
Do you want me to kill Khan for what his great granddad done?
Of course not. Of course not. But I want at least a kind of like a little bit of a like, oh, what's going on here then? How did that happen?
I think you've mad history as well. I don't judge you on that.
Well, I haven't. None of my ancestors have bought a slave.
Well, you was part of the buffer class in Africa, so then man, there was a.
There's a lot of Sikhs here that used to be part of the buffer class in Africa, and it was wrong. I'm not going to lie about it. I've said it. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of servants
that they mistreated and that. You think those stories ain't out there? Come on,
yeah,
man.
But there was no such thing as what I would.
I don't know exactly what you lot have. Thing. I'm not going to judge.
All right. So there was no what I call real kind of like bad stories. What they were doing was like separate. What they did was what they did all right. So what they did was to segregate themselves, yeah, and make themselves into a kind of a separate community within a community, and that's not a good thing to do. So I agree with that. But Mr. Singh, yeah, there's a lot of Birmingham Sikhs are from Uganda, and the stuff you've said about Uganda is going to get you into a little bit of heat when I find out exactly who you are. Oh, who is this?
Raj.
Oh, Khan the Destroyer.
Marrying a slave is equivalent to setting them free from slavery. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, but all right. I think you've done
How
enough
can you say
damage
it's something
to them.
bad? How can you say it's something bad?
Well, do I need to explain?
Yeah, marrying someone and taking them as your equal, innit?
What about the rest of the slaves on the ship?
You can't save everyone. You're one individual.
Yeah, I know, but you're making it out as if it's some great thing that happened. It's a
It is a
terrible
great thing. It's a great thing that he done.
So there's a whole ship of black slaves, and he married one of them. What happened to the rest of them?
What do you mean? The man's an individual. He ain't got an army.
Well, I'm asking you, did this happen to all slaves, or was it just or did the other ones become slaves or servants?
You know that Cyprus is like a massive port in the Mediterranean where all the ships stop.
And how long ago was this then? Because that will make a difference. Like, how long ago?
What do you mean? During the Ottoman Empire?
Was it 200 years ago? 300?
Yeah, about 100 and something years ago.
So all right. So you could be 1900s.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, so 120 years ago, something like that. Yeah. Can you not understand how, like, when you're trying to make it as if your great-granddad done like a great thing, although in that one instance he done a good thing, the whole thing was a terrible shit show. Because to be able to go to a port and pick up a black woman and marry her, but there's still like a whole ship worth of other black slaves, that's not a good thing in the 19th century.
Obviously, it's not a good thing.
But you're making it as if like your
disgusting
granddad
thing.
You're making it as if your granddad done the freaking greatest thing since.
My granddad doesn't represent the fucking Ottoman Empire, bro. He's an individual, innit?
But you come on here saying that it was a great thing he did.
What do you mean? That's like imagine someone turning around and saying to you, "Yeah, my great granddad owned a slave plantation and then set all the slaves free." Are you gonna turn around and say, "Oh, he only set free 100 people"? What about all the others?
Well, he was
still done his part in it.
But he was still part of the system. By buying the slave, he was feeding into the slave trade.
No, that's bullshit.
All right, so if there's no market for the slaves, there would be no slaves. If your great granddad didn't buy the slave, then they wouldn't have come back with more slaves. All right, so there's supply and demand, isn't there?
Libya, we have to put down money to free up man them, fam.
So are you denying supply and demand, Con?
No.
You're just talking bollocks. Right.
For Libya, people's freedom had to be bought because they're mercenaries. Like, not that man trying to invent. Obviously, I wish man had the guns to go and shoot man and just free everyone up, but that's not the reality. The reality is that there's people being oppressed and you're going to free them by any means necessary. Like,
all right, so you're denying that by feeding into the system,
Raj,
what you're
me and you could go to Libya right now and buy about 35 slaves with our money and then get out unscathed, right? Would you do that?
What, buy them and get out unscathed?
Yeah.
No, you're trying to kind of like do what's called kind of deflect.
I'm not trying anything. I'm just saying. I'm saying to you.
Raj, if I was a millionaire, I'd pay the money to free every slave everywhere.
Standard.
All right. So if you're talking about buying a whole group, All right. So let me.
1 minute. And this is what I'm saying, yeah. And this is my belief, because the Quran is very clear on what it is to be right. If every Muslim was really like, I think we would be abolished just by the action of the Quran verse about being righteous, because it's about freeing slaves. If man's a millionaire, man go and spend the money and free everyone from every mercenary camp. And man, they are free, and there's no industry anymore because everyone's free. And I use the rest of my money to obviously get rid of some people who feel like they know what I'm saying. These institutions need to exist. Obviously, they might have to go missing. I can't lie. If I had power,
can I respond without being interrupted? So I would respect your great granddad if he went to the port and he brought loads of slaves and set them free. What he did was to buy one slave and to marry her and make him into his wife. He didn't think about the whole anything apart from the wife aspect.
Raj, that's a lot of money, you know, fam.
Raj is an idiot.
Dude, I think
Raj, be real, innit? Like we can be idealistic all we want, or we can look at the real life situation. You get me? Obviously, me, I don't agree with none of that. Obviously, I would rather go there with a big 4-5 and clap man off. But if I do that with a 4-5, I probably would have died, and Khan wouldn't be here today. So to some degree, because it resulted to his existence, there's gonna be some, you know what I'm saying? That obviously, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really tell a man, oh yeah, your existence wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I would say that today has been a real bad day for the Lions Den. Not gonna lie. I think it's Khan. I would call you Khan the Destroyer, because you've destroyed the Lions Den. I've got a lot of information now to just kind of like run with it and show you the amount of degeneracy in this chat.
Information you run with is dead.
Is crazy.
You can wipe your ass on a bed sheet and run through the streets with it like it's your banner. Yeah,
I will.
You're just showing up yourself. You're showing up yourself, bro.
Don't worry,
You're showing up yourself.
I'm already about to run.
Bro, your whole family came from Uganda. What are you chatting about?
Already. No, they didn't actually. My father's side was from Punjab. My mother side.
So your mum and dad met here, you say? They married here?
No, they married in Punjab. My mother was born in Punjab. So she went there. She went there for 14 years, then come back before Idi Amin shut people out. Now, when it comes to the Idi Amin, because I know what he's going to do, saying the Ugandan Sikhs behave badly, I agree the Ugandan Sikhs didn't integrate themselves within the host nation, which caused problems. They were like a society within a society. Now, when it comes to that, there's a lot of Ugandan Sikhs in the UK with a lot of power, Mr. Singh. I think you need to understand the amount of bullshit you said about the Ugandan Sikhs being racist, not being Punjabi. No. What I'm trying to say here, he's going to regret the day you've messed with Ugandan Sikhs, because the guys in Birmingham that I know, Ugandan Sikhs, will not be happy with these guys.
You know why? You know why you don't like Mr. Singh, yeah? Because Mr. Singh would have rolled with people that call us black bastards. Get me? And call us black like Tapper. Mr. Singh don't like them sort of people.
Do I roll with Moan Singh then?
Yeah, because Mr. Singh doesn't like racist people. Yeah, that's why Raj don't like Mr. Singh.
But he's very anti-Semitic and very homophobic.
Big up Mr. Singh still, but
so it's kind of weird that the kind of like he has his own prejudice like you, but your prejudices seem to be okay, but my ones are bad, whichever ones you think I got. So you do the same thing. This is the problem I have with your channel. I actually enjoy listening to your channel. No, I'm not gonna lie, that's why I listen. But my biggest problem is the hypocrisy, the lies, and the complete delusion of righteousness. If you just admitted that you're all bullshitters, you're all goddamn all degenerates, and that all of you love fighting 24/7 on these chats and lying about people, I can respect you a bit more.
No, that's just talking about yourself. Stop describing yourself.
Well, I could admit I'm a bit of a prick, and some of those things do apply to me. The difference between me and you guys is you think you're righteous. Real one was wishing death upon my mother, like literally saying he wants mum to die.
Yeah, well,
I mean, these are the kind of people that you have on your channel, like
people who cause death. So it doesn't. Your words don't. When you cry about things people say in the chat, when you support a man like Tommy Robinson, no one cares, Raj.
Right, so what you're saying is that the sins of the son, the sins of the son, the family have to suffer for the sins of the son. Is that what you? That's a precedent that I think.
What I'm saying is, if you're someone who can support someone so vile, heinous, and racist, then you can't complain about little words in the chat, because his words are actually affecting people. Like, it actually affected Mo Farah, affects Sadiq Khan.
Oh, so there's two people here, Speaker's Corner Skits, who tried to blackmail me with cop pictures on a T-shirt, which is going to sell. TY, massive lie about my mother, was doing example. Type of people on your...
All right. So that man's saying, Raj supports a man who literally, not only caused deaths and caused African people backward, barbarians, anywhere on the African continent, because you know when these men are talking, they're not, you think they differentiate in Somali and Ghanaians, huh? You think they differentiate in people? You think they differentiate when they colonized the whole continent? You think there was any differentiation then? Yeah? These are the people man support. So when you want to come and tell me, oh, someone said something to me in the chat, oh, Speaker's Corner Skit said this, Real One said this, but you don't care when Tommy said that,